but it doesn't feel like Coachella season this year. I don't know what is going on. I've been talking to business owners here locally. Everybody's struggling with the Coachella sales, on booking, on places to stay, hotels, private events. Sponsors are canceling. So this year, I mean, I think it's still going to make a lot of noise and people are still going to show up and pull up and it's going to be an incredible thing. But just people are not feeling the prices. They're not feeling the economy, the world, the state of the world has been put on hold to the last 18 months. Inflation is crazy. There's a lot of music festivals happening now. If you don't want to go to Coachella for a lineup that's experimental, that you don't know what you're going to expect, they have Besame Mucho for people who are Mexican, Latin Americans. You want hip hop show, you don't care about EDM or nothing else, you just want a straight up hip hop show, go to Rolling Loud. You just want EDM and you don't care about hip hop or rock or anything, you go to an Insomniac festival. You want a hard metal show, you go to Sacramento for Aftershock in Sacramento, Slipknot and Guns N' Roses and all those artists they're gonna be there. If you want a show that's more nostalgic, you go to the When We Were Young festival. So now people are choosing to go because back in the day it was like Coachella was one of the only festivals that was at large scale and was around at that time. And now Coachella is the most elite festival in the world. It's still the best festival, but it alienates everybody because the prices are so high, the hotel rooms are so high, the travel is so high. You're gonna be spending so much money. You could probably spend half the money going to a festival to watch your favorite genre of music. Lovers and Friends Festival is another one. Or that's just my opinion. Or let me know what you guys think or why Coachella's struggling to sell tickets. The other reason, of course, is the lineup and the headliners that they decided to choose. And it's crazy because Shakira was turned down by Coachella. Shakira was trying to be one of the headliners, and Coachella wanted to book her as a sub headliner because they wanted to promote their darlings. You know, they want to put Doja Cat and Tyler the Creator, and Lana Del Rey, I think, does deserve it. So do Tyler and Doja Cat. They have a good trajectory, but if you're trying to appeal to the masses and you want ticket sales to move, I don't know why they didn't pick Shakira. She literally made the biggest sense and she just dropped her album and she has like the number one album in the world right now. It would have been perfect for her to headline. She's got songs with some of the biggest artists and she had one of the biggest 2023s and now a new album. She's about to make her comeback. She was going to launch a world tour, which is going to sell out stadiums all over the world because Shakira is one of the biggest stars in the world. And Coachella said, nah, Doja Cat probably has more TikTok numbers than Shakira right now. So we're going to pick Doja Cat. And that's not going to move the needle. I don't know what they were thinking, but it's just the hype is not there. It's not the hype is not there for Coachella this year. I don't care. Just the people I talk to, people are like, "Yeah, Coachella's coming. It's gonna be cool and it's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna have the best time. I know it's gonna be amazing, and I know it's gonna be better than we expect. And now there's another stage, but at the end of the day, it's like people don't want to overspend the money, especially in today's economy, with all those other options around them that are cheaper, and it just making a decision. Do you want to watch a once in a lifetime opportunity to see artists that you're never gonna see again? And that's what I like about Coachella is like you discover so much music. There's gonna be hologram shows. There's gonna be artists in all kinds of languages playing at Coachella that you'll probably never get to see on tour. You'll never get to see them again. Maybe you will, but you know, it's like it's a cool experience. And also just finding the tribe, connecting with people inside the festival and connecting people from all over the world. That's like the best part about Coachella. I think just making those human connections. I think it's still gonna be super fun, and I do plan on going. I just it just the hype doesn't feel the same this year. I think the week before the festival started, it's gonna start hitting. But let me know your thoughts. I just have a feeling and how I've been talking to other people. Like I said, that's how it feels right now. Everyone's like, yeah, it's cool, it's gonna happen, but it's like, yeah, no, the world is not at the best state right now. Um, this past weekend, we were covering this event for Abby Carter. So Abby Carter is a resident from the city of Indio. Shout out to the Coachella Valley. She's gonna be on American Idol, and I got to interview an American Idol contestant, I guess. She is gonna be the next few months filming in American Idol, and I don't know how that works. I don't know, somebody wins American Idol or like you compete and at the end there's a winner. I don't know what the winner gets, but either way, she's gonna be competing and going through the rounds, and people are gonna be watching her all over the United States, all over the world. So I know she's gonna be big. Her voice is incredible, like just straight up talented. Plays the piano. She's been since she was like 8 years old, I believe. I don't know how old she was when she started playing the piano, but she's super talented, and I think she's gonna one day be a big deal. So that was kind of cool. Getting to talk to her, super down to earth, putting the city of India on the map. So that's pretty cool. This past weekend, it was kind of crazy, bro. It's the Abbey Carter on Saturday, but then on Friday, I went to the Bombay Beach Biennale. The Bombay Beach Biennale is an arts festival that takes place at Bombay Beach, California. Bombay Beach is like this old deserted town that's next to the Salton Sea. And the Salton Sea used to be a booming tourist attraction back in like the 50s and 60s. Like John F. Kennedy came partied at the Salton Sea. There was like famous celebrities from LA would drive to the Salton Sea and take their boats and just hang out at the beach. And it was like a getaway from just the big city life. You come over here to the desert in the middle of nowhere. There was like hotels. There was drive-in movie theater. It was just a booming town. But then the Salton Sea, it just started slowly getting more polluted because all the runoff that comes from the Coachella Valley, a big agricultural area here in California, Southern California. Everything that comes from the mountains, the Santa Rosa Mountains, when it snows and all the water flows, and then all the golf courses, then all the fields and the farming, everything ends at the Salton Sea, and it just got contaminated. The fish started dying every summer because of the rise of the algae. So the fish die not because the water's contaminated, is because the algae grows in the summer, and the algae literally eats up all the oxygen. So the fish don't have oxygen to breathe, and then they end up dying, and then the it just creates a smell, and then you just see a lot of dead fish at the Salton Sea. But the Salton Sea is kind of cool. It's also a natural habitat and a migration stop for thousands of birds that make their trip from like Northern California to South America, from North America to South America. They stop at the Salton Sea. It's the largest human-made lake. So there was an accident that happened in the early, I believe, 1900s, maybe late 1800s. One of the dams broke of the Colorado River, and it literally drained into the Salton Sea for like 3 years. That's the official narrative, and it just became the largest human-made inland lake, and you could see it from like a satellite image. That's how I'm able to know where like I live, because our the city of India is pretty close to the Salton Sea. So every time you look at a map of California, you could see the Salton Sea is the biggest lake on the bottom, kind of close to the Mexican border. You kind of see this big body of water, and that's the Salton Sea. So Bombay Beach is located right there at the Salton Sea. It's this old beach town that has nothing but abandoned houses. People live there now, and they use that as a resort. So people are buying all the land. A lot of people from they just want to disconnect from this big city again. The nature is kind of coming back, but now it's in an artsy underground way. So everyone there, all the houses are bought out. People are literally buying beachfront like pieces of land so they could build art structures. There's people that bring entertainment. They bring visual experiences, healing. Some people just want to retire and get away from everything. It's kind of like super freedom, but also like a lawless town, but also like an artsy town, and a place for people to express themselves and get away, and of course party. So it was kind of interesting. I got invited. Shout out to Anna V, and I don't know if I'm supposed to say who invited me, but so shout out to the people that invited me to the Salton Sea. Well, you could check out Anna V. She's got good music, and I had a pretty cool experience. I got to have some conversations with a couple people that I met, and really opened my eyes. I was like, oh shit, like this is just get away from the normal, get away from the city, get away from it all. I was there for the whole evening. I didn't leave, I think, till like 3 in the morning. Ended up leaving, and I drove back because I had to handle some stuff on the weekend. The Abbey Carter actually. So I had a cool experience and kind of like opened my eyes. Like there's another world over there because sometimes you get in your own bubble, and also like the nostalgic feel of like, damn, this is a place where people used to come, and then now people are like using garbage and turning it into something cool. And also you see that how people are literally waiting for people to pass away so they could buy their houses because there's no more properties there. There's like 360 residents that officially live there. There's generations of people have lived on Bombay Beach, and it's just crazy. Like they have to drive out of town for the nearest grocery store. There's no gas stations because I guess it's this is kind of close to where the San Andreas Fault starts. So there's faulty underground whatever next to the ocean. I don't know. I don't know I'm not a geologist, but that's what the guy said. I interviewed this guy. He wore a hoodie the whole time to protect his face. I have a video on my main YouTube channel, but this guy said that there's a volcano, I guess, close to the Salton Sea that hasn't erupted in like 150 years. I never heard of this. This just was some random guy in a ski mask told me, but he did make a good point because I asked him how does he see society now every time he goes to like town. How do you see once you've been living kind of secluded? And then he's like, oh, what? All I see is people on their phones. And he was just making the motion of someone on their phone just scrolling, doom scrolling, how they call it. And it's true. We become a society of people using their phones. And I'm working on a video talking about this because it's kind of weird how we're just kind of dependent on phones, and it's just I don't know if it's good for society. It's good, but also there's a lot of negatives to it, and we're just kind of like the machines are taking over, bro. AI is getting crazy, but I don't know. I don't want to sound pessimistic. That's just let me know what you think about that. There's also a Kanye West listening experience that was gonna happen here at Acrisure. There was gonna be a listening experience at a local arena here in the Coachella Valley, and then they canceled the show, and I don't know what happened behind the scenes. They already had promoted it, then they canceled it. But I'm thinking Kanye is trying to do the same thing he did during the Super Bowl, where he announced a listening experience after the Super Bowl in Las Vegas. The Super Bowl was taking place in the city of Vegas, so he knows all the famous celebrities and all those people are going to be there already. Then he realizes, oh, I could take the attention away from this by doing my own show in the same area. So I'm kind of thinking that's what he's planning, but that's just my random conspiracy theory mind talking. So there's also something that he said in an interview, which is it wasn't him, it was Ty Dolla Sign or Kanye. I don't remember who said it, but they made a very interesting point when people were talking negatively about the listening experience. He's like, oh, it was Ty Dolla Sign. He said he's been to shows where a rock band would kill, and they're gonna do incredible, and they're playing the instruments, and they're making the crowd go crazy, and it's awesome and it's fun. And then there's a DJ playing after the rock band, and then the DJ, the way they said it is like they're not playing music, they're not even talking on the mic, they're just creating a vibe by playing music to the audience. And then he's like, yeah, that's what we're doing on our shows. We're showing the audience and partying with the audience and showing them our amazing music. And it's like he kind of compared DJs to the listening experience. And it's kind of true. You're just listening to tracks. There's DJs selecting the tracks and they're making a vibe. So these guys are making a vibe without having to sing, without having to use a microphone. But they're showing us their work, their music, and they're creating a vibe for the people around you. And I've been to 2 Kanye listening experiences. It's super cool because you get to hear the songs that you listen to in the car with other people that listen to them, and they're singing along with you. They're singing with you every single song. They're singing all the chorus. They're singing all the funny moments. People are laughing, and it's a cool feeling. So, yes, maybe they're not performing, and if they performed, it will be better. Of course, we want performances. We want them to do the classics, some more production, but at the end of the day, it's like we go there for the experience. There's also something at Rolling Loud. A lot of the rappers didn't even sing their songs, bro. They're just literally jumping on stage and doing ad libs, and they're not even performing. There's a few that perform, like Big Sean, Nicki Minaj performed a lot of her songs too. But for the most part, these artists are not even rapping. So what's the difference? Like, you want a microphone on hand so they could just do ad libs, or you actually want them to perform. Now, I've seen Kanye perform in the past, and he does perform. He sings all his songs and just creates a vibe. So if he ever comes back and does his tour next year or this year, I don't know if he's gonna actually do it, but Kanye is the greatest performer of all time, and he's creating a vibe with these listening experiences, which are a vibe, but he's not performing. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. It's just a quick little podcast update, and I'll see you guys in the next one.